Good night. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to my live where you can ask me any immigration question that you have. This is what this live is for. I apologize for being late. The live was scheduled to be started at 8 p.m. UK time, but it has been a bit delayed today. So my apology. But I'm here now. Let's get started. If you have any questions, any immigration questions or concerns, any query, put a message in the chat or you can send me a message privately and I will definitely get back to you. So we're going to talk about all things legal, immigration, UK immigration. Are you having any problems with UK immigration at the moment? Feel free to share your questions or your queries that you have, and I'll try my best to answer everything for you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. So we're looking at UK immigration matters. Any problem that you have with UK immigration, put it in the chat and I will answer your questions, or you can send me a message inbox and I'll also respond to you there. Are there any skilled worker, persons who are in the UK on a skilled worker visa and need legal advice? Feel free to put your questions in the chat or you can send me a message in box. So we're going to talk about a specific immigration topic tonight. But if you have any other question apart from what we're talking about, feel free to put the question in the chat and I'll answer it, or feel free to send me an inbox. Okay? I will be having my tea while I'm doing this live, okay? Okay. Welcome to my live. Okay. Rita, I will respond to you as soon as I finish this live. I may not have saw your message. I have quite a few to go through. So when I'm finished with this live tonight, I would respond to you. Okay? Please share the live. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about asylum seekers in the United Kingdom. Okay? I'm going to briefly talk about asylum seekers, but if you have any other immigration question, send me a message or you can put it in the chat. Okay? Please share the live and invite your friends. This is free advice. Okay? And if you don't need advice, it's free knowledge and free information for you as well. Please like the live. Thank you very much, Rita, for liking the live. Thank you. Please like the live as you come in and share the live as well. Okay, so because I only have 1 hour tonight, I'm going to just jump right into it, okay? Thank you for joining my live. Okay, so I'm going to talk about asylum seekers in the United Kingdom. All right. Um, I've been asked many times, what type of application should I make? What type of immigration application should I make? And most times I have to ask the question as well, what is your situation? What are your circumstances? Okay? Because based on your circumstances and your situation, then um it would be better for me to advise you and for you to also know what type of application you need to make. Okay? Now, making an asylum claim is a decision that you have to make for yourself based on your circumstances and your situation. Okay? You cannot just make an asylum claim if it's not the correct application for you. So it must be the correct application for you based on your situation and your circumstances. Okay? So, what is an asylum claim? Now, if you or your daughter or your mother or your son has have a genuine fear of persecution if you return to your home country, then you can make an application for an asylum claim. So you must have a genuine fear of persecution if you return to your home country. Be it if you came to the UK via a visit visa, as a student, as a dependent, as a spouse, it doesn't matter how you enter the country. What matters is that you have a genuine fear of persecution of returning to your home country. Now, there's a rule that when you enter immigration, which is entry clearance at immigration at the airport, if you come as a student or you come as a visitor and you know you fear going back, you should claim asylum then and there at that point in time of you entering the country. However, not everyone's situation and circumstances are the same. So, for example, Jane may come through immigration and they claim asylum immediately at that point in time. But not everyone is like that. Okay? Your circumstances may be different from mine. You may fear persecution at some point in time while you're in the UK. So not everyone can claim asylum at the entry or when you enter the UK. Some persons claim asylum later on while they're in the UK because they have a genuine fear of returning to their home country, a genuine fear of persecution. Okay? Now, what we advise is that if you have a genuine fear of persecution, do not suffer in silence. Don't sit and cry and be weak and worried. Don't suffer in silence. Seek legal advice. Speak to a lawyer, be it Citizens Advice Bureau or a private solicitor. Because once you have this fear of persecution, that brings added stress onto your life, depression. You can have psychosis behavior. That's how much a fear can affect your life. So don't suffer in silence if you have a fear of persecution of returning back to your home country. You must seek legal advice immediately as to what you can do. What's your next step? Okay? So if you claim asylum, it gives you protection. Okay? It gives you protection within the country in which you claim asylum. Another thing that I must point out is that, let's say, for example, you traveled from Nigeria or Ghana or the Caribbean and you would have passed through few other what they call safe countries. Yeah, so those are countries whereby you can claim asylum as well. And you did not claim asylum, but you journeyed straight to the United Kingdom and then claim asylum here. That can be a problem against your application. Okay, so the rule is once you come through a safe country, you should seek asylum immediately there at that safe country. Seek asylum there. Okay. So I've seen a question from Rita. If you receive death threats via email, can you make an application on the FLR HRO human rights claim? Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question. Yes. If you have a human rights claim, yes, you can make an application on the FLR HRO human rights. Okay. But you would need evidence. So if you have evidence of threats via email as to why you have to stay in the UK under the human rights, and you want to make an application on the human rights claim, you can. But then I don't think that may be the best application for you. Okay? So to give full advice, we have to see all the evidence that you have, and then we can say, okay, this application is the best one, and then this, and then this. If you understand, if that's clear for you. So you can make an application on the human rights. That's fine. But the question is it the best application? And it goes back to what I said before, for your circumstances, your situation. Is that the best application? That's what we have to consider when we give you the legal advice. Okay? So yes, that can be an option, Rita. Share the live, everyone. Like and share the live, okay? Okay, thank you for that question, Rita. So I'm going to just go back. So if you pass through a safe country, what is called a safe country, on your way to the United Kingdom, you should seek asylum then and there. Okay? At your point of claiming asylum in the UK, the Home Office will ask you why you did not seek asylum in that country that you went through, and it's a safe country. Obviously, you may have a reason, and that's fine. They cannot just reject your application because of that. Okay, so don't worry about that. But it is a rule that you should seek asylum in that safe country. Okay. Now, when should you apply for an asylum claim? Which I've said before, is basically you feel unsafe. Yeah, you fear persecution of returning back to your country, and that's when you should seek asylum. As soon as you arrive, if you have that fear when you left your home country, as soon as you arrive in the UK, you seek asylum. Okay. Now, what is the asylum application process? What's the process? Yeah. What evidence do you need to prove that you fear persecution going back if you go back to your country? So the evidence will be based on what you have. Yeah. So if you have telephone calls, records, if you have emails, whatever threats you have of fear going back, that will basically be your evidence that you provide to show that you definitely fear persecution if you go back to your country. All right. Now, with the asylum process, the first thing is that your solicitor will interview you, and they would find out from you, why do you want to claim asylum? Okay. Then they would say to you, this is what happened next. We have to call the Home Office and book you an appointment. So that appointment will be your first appointment. It is called your initial screening appointment. So this is where you go to the Home Office unit and you will do your first interview. At your first interview, they will basically want brief information as to who do you fear, why do you fear them, when did this happen, and they would confirm your details with you as well. Okay, so that's the process. So we book you an appointment to see the Home Office for your initial interview, and they would ask you a few basic questions like that. Okay, they will take your fingerprints, your photograph. It's called, your biometrics. They will take that from you, and they will also they may take your passport from you as well if you have your passport at the time of your interview. Okay, please like the live, share the live as well, everybody. Thank you. So they will take your passport from you if you have your passport at the time, and there's nothing to worry about if they take your passport from you. That's totally fine. They will have a record, and they will give you like a receipt to state that they have your passport in their possession. Okay, so there's nothing there to worry about in terms of that. They would give you documents that states that you are on bail, and that's the standard process. So I know some persons get scared, when they get these documents, but that's the standard process. They will give you also a copy of your questionnaire, what you said and what they ask you. Now, when you go for your first interview, you will not be detained. You will not be detained, okay? There isn't any reason to detain you because you are seeking protection. That's why you've made the application for asylum. So they will not detain you. They would give you bail, normal procedure, and they may even give you right to work in the United Kingdom. I have recently finished a 3-part video on right to work, permission to request right to work. So they may give you right to work as well. Now, when it comes to right to work for asylum seekers, the general rule is that you're not entitled to work. You're not entitled to right to work. And for obvious reasons, you are seeking protection. You belong to the state, so to speak. So they will not give you right to work. However, the rules have been amended whereby you can request right to work. But a layperson or a civilian may not understand how to make this application. And this is why you eventually need a solicitor or a lawyer to assist you with making the application for right to work. Okay? However, as well, some persons may be given right to work then and there at the first interview. I've seen it where persons are given right to work at the first interview. And this is at the discretion of the Home Office. So for example, if you came into the UK as a student or as a dependent where you previously had the right to work, then your previous immigration status will continue even if you claim asylum. Okay? It will continue even if you claim asylum. So if you were a spouse, a student, a dependent, and you had right to work, it can continue after you claim asylum. But this is at the discretion of the Home Office. It's not mandatory. All right. And if you're not given right to work, you have to wait 1 year before you can make a request for right to work. What happens after your first interview? You would be given a card called ARC. On that card, it would state the validity date. So most likely, it will be a 2-year validity on the card. So with that 2 years, Home Office should come back to you with a decision within that 2 years. Now, after your first interview, there should be a second interview called a substantive interview. Now, the second interview does not happen the next day or the next week or 2 weeks after that. No. The second interview can take place months after, a year after. There are no time frame when it comes to asylum seekers in terms of when Home Office process everything. So your second interview can take very, very long before you get one. So at your substantive interview, that will be the longest interview. The most questions will be asked, and they will go in depth into what your fear is. Who do you fear? Why do you fear them? When did this happen? Who are involved? More questions will be asked at your substantive interview, which is your second interview. After your second interview, you can take up to 6 months, 7 months before you get a decision. And that decision can be either to grant you your asylum claim or to refuse your asylum claim. If your asylum claim is refused, there will be a reason as to why it has been refused. Like up the live, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Like the live as you join. Thank you. So if you have any immigration matters in the United Kingdom, feel free to put it in the chat or send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Tonight we are looking at asylum seekers and the basic process, application process. But if you have any other question apart from this topic, just put it in the chat and I'll respond to you, or you can just send me a message inbox. Like the live as you join. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. Olami say, I'm still waiting for a response on AR and it's up to a year now. Wow. That's a long time. Have you chased it up? Have you chased it? Thank you for the live, guys. Thank you for the likes. Okay, send me a message inbox. Send me a message, Olami, if I pronounce your name correctly, and I can guide you along that, okay? Now, that's the thing. The problem is, not everyone can afford legal advice. Not everyone can pay a solicitor. And sometimes you go to Citizen Advice Bureau or some other lawyer and it's just not the best. It's just not the best, but not everyone can afford a solicitor. And so this is one of the reasons why I'm also doing TikTok live, because I'm not really someone who goes out there, but I've realized the lack of bespoke advice that persons receive. And I think I can help that and give some free advice when I can. That will go a long way for some persons who don't have the money. And things happen in life. Sometimes you come to the UK and you have it all planned out. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to get done. And then for some odd reason, unforeseen reasons, things happen. And you have to now start thinking differently mentally and approaching things differently to try and remain here legally. And it's not easy. It's not easy. dealing with home office and dealing with immigration matters. It's not easy, especially if you don't have the money. It can be very hard. So, as I say, don't sit in silence, don't suffer in silence. Take advantage of these live, take advantage of these platforms that come on TikTok or YouTube and speak about legal matters and offer free advice. Sometimes that's the start that you need, and then things start flowing for you. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I start doing. I said I'm gonna start doing my TikTok live is to help persons out there. Okay. Lami said, I swear my life is just stuck in a position right now. I feel you. I feel you. I know what you're talking about. And it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes, you know, some we don't even need to be in someone's position to know how it feels. It's not easy dealing with immigration issues in this country. I'm being honest. It's not easy. And imagine you're here, you don't have family, and you have to battle everything by yourself. It's not easy. Sometimes I have to give counseling to clients because it's just so much on them. It's just so much on them sometimes. You have to go beyond being an immigration lawyer to being a counselor, just helping someone out where you can. Well, yeah, did they give you right to work? I've known, and the funny thing is, home office have so much discretion that you may just not be lucky. You may be unlucky at the time of your interview, because usually they don't give right to work, but they would give some persons right to work. So you may have come into the country as a student and you claim asylum because something happened and you genuinely fear persecution if you return, and you go for your interview and they give you right to work. While Jane may also be a student here and something happened and she fear persecution of returning to her country. She goes for her interview and they said no work. So you just don't know. You just don't know. It's the discretion is very, very wide and it's up to them. Up to them. Yeah. Like the live as you come in, everybody. Thank you so much for the likes. Share the live as well. So if you have any immigration questions, feel free to send me a message or put it in the chat. Tonight, we are talking specifically about asylum claim and the general basic process. Okay. That's what we're talking about tonight. Hi, Tariq. I see you. Lenny. Thank you so much for joining the live. Like the live as you go ahead. Obolo, thank you. So yes, we're speaking about asylum seekers application, the basic application, and but if you have any other questions, feel free to put it in the chat or send me a message. Okay. So as I was saying, is that when you finish your second interview, which is your substantive interview, then it goes, you wait for the decision, whether they will grant you or they will refuse you. Okay, refuse your application. If they refuse your asylum claim application, they have to give you a reason as to why. Okay, and they may give you right of appeal. So if they give you right of appeal, then this is where now you can make an appeal in the tribunal so that your application will be heard before a judge. In this way, you'll be able to give oral evidence. You'll be able to explain to the judge your situation, and your solicitor will support it by preparing the necessary documents. Okay? So this is one of the advantages of claiming asylum. And if it has been refused, unfortunately, you have the right to go before a judge. Compared to if you do one of those application like FLR HRO, as Rita was mentioning, it's it's just a tick box exercise on those applications. There's no way for you to explain your situation. Even with an asylum claim, you can explain your situation. But with those other applications, it's like a tick box exercise. Okay? So if you have a genuine fear of persecution, of returning to your home country, do not suffer in silence. Do not sit and wait and don't know what to do. You can make an asylum application. Everybody's situation is different. Your situation may not be my situation, and same for you. You have to do what is best for you. Okay? Claiming asylum is not an easy process, and it's not a next day result process. So you have to condition your mind. So as long as you have a genuine fear of persecution, the magnitude of your fear, you do not need to compare it with someone else. Your fear is your fear. And you have a right to claim asylum if you genuinely feel that you have a fear of persecution. So if your asylum claim has been refused, it can go on to appeals and appeals. And it can also lead to what is called further submission or fresh claim, which I'll discuss in a different live. Okay? I'll discuss that in a different live about fresh claim or further submissions. So it's not that you make an asylum claim today, 2024, and by 2027 it has been refused and you have to leave the country. It's not like that. It's far from that. Remember, you are claiming protection in the United Kingdom because you genuinely fear persecution. So even if your asylum claim is refused, it doesn't stop there. There are more applications that can be made. Don't suffer in silence. Seek legal advice and seek it now. Seek it immediately. Become knowledgeable of what you can do. Get the help that you need. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Thank you so much for liking the live and sharing the live as well. Thank you. I really do appreciate the support. Okay. So feel free to message me if you have any questions and you don't want to put it in the chat. Feel free and send me a message and I'll respond to it. Shirad say 100%. Thank you. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Also, I need to share with you that if you do not have a solicitor or a lawyer and you want to claim asylum, you can do it yourself. Okay? You can call the Home Office yourself and make the application, make the appointment to go and give your interview. All right? Just Google asylum claim and it would give you all the details. You make your appointment and you go ahead and do your interview. But if you have a solicitor or lawyer, it makes it much better for you. That is so true, Olami. Not Olami. I think that's I can't pronounce that word. Is it King? Yeah, he said, "It is well with your soul, brother. It's not easy, but people back home don't realize." Well, that's very, very true. That's very, they think that we have it easy here. And they think that person come here and it's very easy in the UK, but it's not. It's not at all. King said, "I'm looking for a UK-based honest accountant. Haven't seen one yet." Yeah, I hope you find one soon. Yeah, it's not easy here, and that's the thing. They think it's all easy. You know, everyone's got their own burden in the UK here, and you have to do what you have to do to survive. Yeah, that's the thing about it. You have to do what you have to do to survive this place. Okay, so if you're thinking about making an asylum claim, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. In another live, I'll talk about the support that can be given to you if you are an asylum seeker. Okay, the support is not much, but it can help along the way. So don't be afraid to claim asylum if you have a genuine fear. If you have a genuine fear, don't be afraid to claim asylum in the UK. Okay. If you have any questions at all, feel free to send me a message. Feel free to send me a message, or feel free to put the question in the chat. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because once you claim asylum and they said to you that you have no right to work, then the next question is, how are you going to eat? How are you going to feed your family, feed yourself? Everything would change for you. Everything would change for you. So there is support for you. There is support for you if you claim asylum. There's financial support and there's accommodation support. But like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. You have to condition your mind to the circumstances. And you have to remind yourself of the reason why you're claiming asylum. So you can't claim asylum and think it's going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to be. So you have to condition your mind that I have to do this because I cannot go back home. I fear persecution. I genuinely fear persecution. Whatever happened to you there, or whatever happened to you while you're here, it's your story to tell. It's not mine. It's not anyone else. It's your story to tell. Why you cannot go back to your home country. And so if you claim asylum, is it easy to relocate from UK to Canada? I'm not sure about the Canada system, but I believe they also have an asylum system as well. But I've read recently that they have become very strict. So if you have a UK passport, so if you are a British citizen, it would be easy to go to Canada, but they would have their own laws as well. Okay, they would have their own laws as well within the country. So as I was saying, that you can there's support for you if you claim asylum. Okay, there's financial support and there's accommodation support. Now, as a civilian, the forms that you have to complete may be mind blowing for you. It may be surprising and shocking because of so much information that they're going to ask you for. So, hence the reason why you need legal advice as well. Because someone will need to guide you as to how to complete the forms and to make an application for your support, your financial support, and your accommodation support. Also, there are some situations whereby you, Home Office doesn't need to interview you. They can grant your asylum application without interviewing. It's called a paper-based um, decision. So they make decision on paper to just write to you and say if it's been granted or not. So they don't need to actually see you to decide your asylum case or to interview you. Okay. And also just bear in mind that your fare can be wide. Your fare can be wide because things happen years ago, decades ago, and then it starts reoccurring again. So you have to think. Your lawyer will not tell you what to say. You have to tell your story. What do you fear? Who do you fear? Why do you fear them? You have a genuine fear of persecution if you go back to your country. Okay? So do not suffer in silence, as I said. Do not suffer in silence. Seek legal advice. And the earlier you seek legal advice, it's the better for you. Because you'll be able to make wiser decisions and you'll understand exactly what you need to do. Okay? If you have any questions, thank you for liking the live, guys. Thank you so much for liking the live. It's very interactive tonight, and I'm hoping as I do more live, I would engage more persons and we'll talk about different topics as well. But tonight's topic was just the basics of asylum claim, just the basic. The next topics I will go into, if your asylum claim has been refused, how do you make further submissions, appeals, and also I'll go into how you can make the support, how can you apply for the asylum support. I have covered in a 3-part video on my page about the request for right to work as an asylum seeker. I have covered that, so you can have a look at those videos if you're intending to request right to work. As I said, you must have an asylum claim pending or a further submission claim pending 12 months, which is 1 year. You cannot have a decision before. Okay, so once it is pending, then you can make a request for right to work. Miriam Grace said, thank you very much. I have learned a lot. Please, which days are you available? Because I want more. Thank you very much for that comment, Miriam. I'll to be honest, the reason why I'm late today is because I worked late. But I will try my best to find a day or 2 days of the week where I will come on at a certain time and discuss legal topics, immigration topics, and yes, give advice as well. Thanks, Rita. Thanks a lot for your knowledgeable free legal advice. This would have amounted. Thank you very much, Rita. Yes, and I'm very mindful, because I tell you, I see persons every day and they don't have the money. They genuinely don't. And sometimes it's just a little advice you need, or, to hear how to do this or to do that. And the guidance, it's important. And if I can give of myself and my service to my platform, that's what I'll continue to do to help persons, because I know what it's like. So thank you. As soon as I'll try to have a schedule where I come on at a certain time. I'll always put a post up before I come as well. So I'm only spending 1 hour today, so it's counting down. So yeah, if you have any question, feel free. Always send me a message. I'll respond. I'll respond to everyone. Everyone I respond to. It may take a time because I've got loads of questions. So that means lots of person need advice, immigration advice. So I will always guide as as best as I can. So like the live, guys, and always share the live so other persons can join as well. So as I said, your asylum claim, your circumstances or your situation can be different from anybody else. So not everybody have the same situation. All right. And if you're claiming asylum, don't be bothered as to what other persons are doing. You do what you have to do to remain in the UK if you genuinely fear persecution. All right. And as I said, persecution can be something happening now, something that happened decades ago, something that you genuinely fear. Okay. And only you can tell your story. Nobody else can do it for you. All right. And it's up to Home Office to decide if they believe your story or if you have sufficient evidence, or if your claim is genuine. But one thing for certain is that if you have a genuine fear of persecution, they cannot tell you that you're wrong. You know you have your fear. They may refuse your application, but it doesn't stop there. Because the point remains, you cannot go back. Okay? You cannot go back to your home country because you genuinely fear persecution. So somehow, you have to remain in the UK. And the Rwanda bill, that's all in the past now. So that's even good news. Okay? You just have to be strong, as I say, mentally prepare yourself. It's better to be in a safe country than to be there and something happens to you. Yeah? Big Daddy said, thank you so much. Thank you, Big Daddy. Can you share your contact, please? Yes, if you send me a message inbox, I can give you my contact. Also on my page has an email. You can send me an email there as well. Thanks to everyone who stayed on the live with me tonight. And I am going to take my leave in the next 5 minutes. So if you have any questions while I'm gone, feel free to send it to my inbox. Okay? And final reminder, do not suffer in silence. Okay? Do not suffer in silence. There's enough space and room here for everybody in the United Kingdom. If you want me to guide you or to, you just want to ask a basic question or you have a thought, just send me a message. I'll definitely respond to you. Okay? Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Thank you for sharing as well. All right, so I'll be taking my leave now. I've seen Michael join. If you have any question at all, feel free to message, okay? I may come live tomorrow. If I come tomorrow, I think I want to talk about not skilled worker visa, but student visa that has been revoked. There are lots of students who are facing problems. Some persons come to the UK and they don't have the money to continue their studies. So said I can't follow, as in not giving me in. Okay, I'll look for your account after and I'll see what I can do. Okay, yes, we meet again tomorrow, Rita. All right, so I want to talk tomorrow about students, because some students come to the UK to study, but they don't have the money to continue, and then they face a situation that they never intended to happen, and so they want to know what can they do legally to remain in the UK. So I think I want to look at that topic tomorrow. So have a good night, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you're from. And thank you so much for joining my live. Okay, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as we discuss more legal matters. As I said, all things legal. Go on over to my YouTube channel. It's all things legal as well. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate that as well. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye for now.